Oh, well, hello. That's very jolly. Hello.
Hello. Welcome to the Running Joke.
With me, Zoe Lyons.
And me, Esther Manito. And we are fresh off the back of the Brighton Half Marathon.
I don't know if I'd use the word fresh.
I would not use that word.
No. Let's tell our dear listener, first of all, what were the conditions like, Esther?
So imagine a bucket of rain and ice and then a wind machine blowing full blast in your face.
In your face in any direction.
Yes.
Yeah, it was challenging, wasn't it?
It was challenging, but my favourite part of the entire run is we'd been running for a very long time. And then Zoe said to me, oh, I think because of the torrential wind, they've had to take down all the mile markers.
Yes.
And I was like, no. It has just taken us that fucking long to get to the first mile.
I genuinely thought they'd taken the mile markers down.
That really made me laugh.
I was
that
like, oh my God.
You were like, oh, they've taken down.
I've been doing this for about 40 minutes. I would have thought I'd seen a mile marker by now. No. And then they popped up towards the end, didn't they?
They popped up towards the end, but that really made me laugh. And you were like,
God.
oh, they've had to take down all the markers.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, we just haven't reached a mile.
Oh, God.
We haven't reached a mile. I particularly liked towards the end of the race when I went, I'm just going to keep talking. Because you just stopped.
I think what happened was I went into myself. I inverted.
I was like, I had to say to you, I went, I don't know if I'm annoying you,
yes,
or whether this is a distraction, but I'm just going to keep talking.
Do you know what? It was a bit of both at that point. It was an annoying distraction at that point because we'd never actually run together before.
No.
And what we learnt was we are really ill-matched because you're dyspraxic, I'm dyspraxic.
Yeah, so we kept whacking each other as like...
You can't hear properly on one side.
No.
The one side you can hear properly on is the side that your elbow drops out like a... I mean, it was like running with Fred Flintstone at one point.
Well,
so your elbow
you were quite
kept hitting
flaily
me
as well, my love. There was a lot... My nipple took a lot of bashing from your flailing arms.
We just elbowed each other.
We literally just spent the entire thing going, sorry, I can't hear you. Can you come this side? I can't...
Then you kept pushing me into the gutter.
Yeah, you kept going, sorry, can you just go slightly... Sorry, Esther, can you just go slightly up the hill? And I was like, how dare you? I've only got one working leg.
How
dare you?
You kept pushing me into the... There was a very strong camber on that road.
I know what this is leading to.
What?
That when we do Bath, you're going to be like, I'm really sorry, I can't run with you. But you will, and you'll listen to my talk.
God.
And I will sing the entire time.
Oh, man. Here we go.
I think it was good distraction. I think I was a good distraction from the pain at the end. I don't care what you say.
Yeah, okay.
Everyone else around us wanted to hear my music.
My music. And then I got a review in The Guardian. Oh, shut up! I haven't looked at the official race photos yet.
Right.
I've just downloaded. I haven't looked at them yet.
I have.
But I've been sent the link for the official, when the official photos come through.
Yeah, I've seen them.
Oh.
I feel like this is when one of you knows if it's a girl or a boy and the other one doesn't.
Gender reveal.
This is a gender reveal.
When we see my photos and we realise I'm a 14-year-old boy in shorts.
Well.
Let's have a look.
I don't think I fare any better. No, that's awful. No, hang on. Is that...
Oh, my God.
Let's have a look.
No. Why would you pay for that?
No, you have to see. I want to see.
I don't even look like I'm moving. I look like I'm standing still.
Can I see? You look quite unhappy.
No. That is not good, is it? Oh, Esther, where do you see the face on this one?
Oh, no.
This is no.
I don't think I fare any better.
No.
Yeah,
I don't like Blackadder's on the run.
You look like a miner.
Oh, that like an actual, like a child or somebody down a pit?
No, down a pit. You look like you've just come out of the pit.
Oh, man. What? Why would anybody... Oh, dear
Well, I don't know,
God.
but I think we are going to pay for them.
There's one of the two of you. There's you and me. the
Oh, I
end.
did not see that. That was awful.
That must be
I've
us.
got 3 stomachs.
I don't know what's going on there.
I've got 3 fucking stomachs.
I look like I've got massive tits in that picture.
Let's see. Oh, yeah, look how bad my picture is. I've got massive breasts.
No, but not good breasts. Look.
My boobs.
Oh, Esther.
Oh, dear. Oh. That. Oh, Zoe.
It's bad, isn't it? That is bad.
Can I just say,
No.
you do not have that size
Goiter?
neck. Oh, dear.
Oh, that's
I'd never realised
how bad
how
I
furious you look
Yeah.
when you're running. I've never seen you look angry
Well,
before.
I think at that point you hadn't stopped talking for quite some time. And we were on mile 12 and I was,
I
was
think it's
reaching-
nice to talk.
reaching peak, had enough at that point.
But I had enough. Do you know what, Zoe? Some say my talking is what gets them through.
Okay. Clearly my face is telling a very different story there. They're
That's
so
you. There
distressing.
she is. She's still talking.
Look at my boobs. They look...
Look, she's still
It's not
talking.
good. Even the producer's
I
pissing
was
himself
thinking
with
of-
that one. It's
I
just
can't-
awful.
I can't even remember.
Oh,
I can't even remember what I was talking about at that point. I was thinking of anything. I was like, did I tell you about the time I got a terrible review? And you're just like, shut up. And I was like, anyway, what else can I talk about?
So let's have a look at yours then.
Right. So this is really attractive.
Okay.
If me and my husband split up and I
Yeah.
have to use dating sites, I'll definitely put this one on there. I don't know whether it's the fact that my breasts look like they're merging into the top of my hips.
Yeah.
Or the fact that I look like I've got skin, like arm skin, that's flapping independently to my body.
Oh, that's always a good one.
or the
isn't
fact
it?
that the man next to me looks like he's a corpse stood up.
Oh, he does look like a corpse stood up.
That's nice.
You're running with Nosferatu.
Do you think he's also fed up of my endless chatter?
Have you killed him?
Oh, and talking of fat necks.
Yes, look at that. And you don't have a fat neck at all.
No. Why is all my arm skin flat? I've literally got skin flying out of my armpits.
Let me see. I can't see properly. Let me see because my
It's
eyes don't
just-
work. No, you don't. No, you don't. And anyway, in those strong winds, a little bingo wing would be an advantage.
Yes.
You've basically got spinnaker arms.
Yeah.
You've pushed yourself along through the propulsion of wind using a moderate amount of excess flesh.
I mean, I could get that framed, couldn't I?
This is a wonderful, wonderful picture. That is fantastic.
Would you and Cindy like
Yeah.
to come for dinner with me and this man?
That man.
Would you like a double date? Would you?
It looks like...
He looks like he's a taxidermied man that I have. Look, it actually looks. I
Like
can't
a
even zoom in.
part of him.
It looks like I've attached him to my blue thing. That's what that is.
Well, that's why we were slow, Esther. You were carrying around a
It
life-size
looks like
puppet
I've
of a
put-
human.
I've got wheels on the bottom of his trainers and I've attached him to my hip.
Yeah.
And I'm dragging him along.
That is wonderful. Oh, wonderful.
Oh, look, that one. I look bald. That's nice.
Let's see.
Look, I've got a bald patch.
That's my job. Hang on. Oh, yes, slightly. Slightly. That's a less bad one of me.
Oh, well, we'll get the one where I look like I've got a ball patch.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you wouldn't mind.
Yeah,
that
we'll
is
do
a
that one.
less bad one of me. I'm realising now that the black top with the yellow vest over the
makes
top
you look like a bee.
You look like a fat little bee just wobbling about. And the beanie as well.
Yes.
You
do look a little bit like
and I tell you what happened.
Joe Pesci in Home Alone.
I love that on the official for half marathon photos, like it has the thing at the bottom, this is not me. That you can tap if it's not you.
Yeah.
But if you're just not accepting that that's you,
Yeah.
like this is
It's
not me.
How dare you?
This is
is
definitely not me.
You have caught me at my worst.
I mean, it looks like me,
yeah.
but this is not
You know,
me.
like when you go out and get absolutely shit-faced and the next day you have to text people going, I don't normally drink that much.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I feel like we should be able to do that with marathon photos. Just
Yeah.
going, I don't normally run
Yes.
with a very unhappy elderly man attached to my hip.
And I don't normally look like a terrified turkey.
I think we need to maybe delve into something slightly more serious with the positives of running rather
Right.
than our endless nonsense.
Delve into the mental health implications of running.
Yes, and why we do it and why it is important. And taking a more serious turn, let's talk to writer Phil Hewitt, who talks about PTSD and running.
Just a quick note before we begin. The second half of this episode is an interview with journalist Phil Hewitt and includes a discussion of a serious assault and PTSD and includes some detailed descriptions of the attack. If that's something you'd rather avoid, you may want to skip this section. Otherwise, plod on.
Every now and then we have a guest that just brings something totally unique and fascinating to the world of running, and they open our eyes. And this week we are so thrilled to be joined by the author that is Phil Hewitt. Welcome to The Running Joke, Phil.
Really lovely to speak to you. Thank you so much for your interest. It's always fantastic to speak running, isn't it? Because I mean, running, well, kind of saved my life. It changed everything. It brought me back from a really, really dark place.
You've published books such as Keep on Running, The Highs and Lows of a Marathon Addict.
Absolutely, yes. A nerdy trot around the world, that one.
Oh, was it? Around the world?
Yeah, lots of marathons in different places.
Where was your favourite
great
place?
Fun. Just exploring, falling in love with running, really. That came out some years ago, but slightly more seriously. This
Yes.
one about
Yes.
what happened in Cape Town.
Do you want to explain to us what happened in Cape Town, Phil? What was
Yeah,
your story?
well, I was a bit of a nit, really. I mean, obsessed with running, but also obsessed with cricket. And I had the chance to go and see some cricket at Cape Town at Newlands, which is an absolutely beautiful ground.
Yeah.
And England got thrashed, and it was fantastic fun sitting there with all the Cape Towners who were just taking the piss out of the fact I'd travelled so many thousand miles to see Joss Butler out first ball, Stuart Broad out second ball. And it was just a fantastic day. It was just really, really happy, even though England lost. And the match finished. I was on a massive high, looked around, couldn't see any buses or taxis or anything like that. I just sort of sod it. I'm going to walk back to central Cape Town, which was probably about 7-8 miles or so. And Newlands, a cricket ground, beautiful suburb. But what I didn't realise, to walk back into the centre of Cape Town, you pass through the really, really, truly dodgy bits.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know, maybe running just breeds a kind of conviction that you're invincible. Nothing can happen to you. You can always get away. So I asked a few people, am I going in the right direction? They said, yes, but I wouldn't do it if I were you. But stupidly, I just kept on going and ended up, the only way into central Cape Town at one point was to walk along a motorway on the hard shoulder. And then that whole hard shoulder disappeared. So I legged it across the motorway and sort of tumbled down through a little community and came out in this awful area. It was just desolate. It was been bulldozed during apartheid 50 years before, 50 years to the very month before. It was just cleared as a sort of black ghetto clearance. And it was the no-go place in Cape Town. But
Was this during daylight or nighttime?
It was just about 7 o'clock in the evening.
Okay.
It was probably about an hour more of daylight at that point, hour and a half of daylight.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, right, well, I'm probably about 3 or 4 miles from central Cape Town now. If I just keep striding out, I know I shouldn't be here, but I'll be all right. But I wasn't. And I heard pitter-patter of footsteps behind me. A bloke very colourfully asked for my camera. And I just found 2, what I thought were thumps to my leg, which pushed me over. And then falling to the ground, I pulled him down behind me, and he started kicking me in the back of the head, started kicking me in the back, and then he stood up and rather needlessly started kicking me in the stomach and trying to kick me in the face. He was just furious because I resisted.
Yeah.
And whilst he was kicking me, I looked down and saw my leg, and it was absolutely pouring blood. And I realised I hadn't been punched, I'd been stabbed. So he just stood there and kicked the out of me.
Yeah.
And then just legged it and just ran off. And I was lying on the grass, pulled myself across to the pavement where the blood was so much more visible, spreading around me. I was just lying there.
So he'd stabbed you in the leg?
He'd stabbed me twice in the leg, yeah.
In the same leg, or?
Yeah, it turned out it was a sort of 6 or 7 inch gash to the calf and a very deep puncture wound to my thigh, which almost went straight through, nicked bone on the way.
Oh,
And I was just lying there trying not to look at the blood. And it's the weirdest thing. If you're losing blood quickly, it's a horrible thought, but the easiest thing is just to give into it, just to let go, just to shut your eyes and just get out of the situation. The most difficult thing is to do something about it.
And pull yourself together and
try
and
my love of the Rolling
survive.
Stones comes in. Something made me look down, and I saw I was wearing my favourite Rolling Stones t-shirt. And I made the connection. That was a gift from my lovely daughter, Laura. And it just brought me back to the realization I want to survive this. So I propped myself up rather than just lying back, shutting my eyes, which was the huge temptation. I propped myself up, looked around, and someone rescued me. Just as I was probably just starting to lose consciousness.
Oh my God.
I was aware of this blurry car with red writing on the side, pull up, and this guy ran towards me, pulled me up. And I was conscious he was dressed rather peculiarly. He was in a very frilly shirt with a red bow tie. What on earth is happening? I mean, you've got no.
You must have thought you were hallucinating at this point.
Well, exactly. And then got to the car,
McDonald.
and I saw it said on the side of the car, Butler's Pizza Company of Cape Town.
Oh, so he was
and
a pizza
he was
guy.
driving around delivering pizzas.
Oh, bless
and he
him.
had the courage in a place where there are so many carjackings. He had courage to stop, get out of his car, pick me up, put me in the back of the car, and elevate my leg on a pile of pizzas, which I really hope he did not then deliver.
Yeah.
Absolutely trashed them.
Yeah. Oh my
God.
goodness.
And he was just brilliant. He just whizzed me to hospital, got me there. And I had 3 broken ribs. I had 18 stitches. The guy slashed 5 times with his knife. The first time just got the arm of my coat without penetrating skin. Second one was here. Third one was the gash to my calf. The other one was the deep puncture wound to my thigh. The one I think freaks me most was I've got a little scar here that you probably can't see. But it must be a defensive thing. I went like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
If I'd gone like that and it got me there,
yeah.
I would be dead.
Yeah.
And it freaks me still, the difference between my life, my death, is that.
But that whole story, that whole, not taking a chance, but doing what you would do normally to walk away from a lovely afternoon of having fun and connection.
Without thinking, yes.
Without thinking. And I know that, Esther and I as comedians, we have many times left venues and various places and thought, it'll be okay. We'll wander back to our car, or we'll wander back to the train, or we'll wander back to wherever it is we're going. And I know that myself, and I'm sure you have, and many people listening will have had that moment where you must have had that moment where you go, oh God, this isn't the right place to be at the right time.
Exactly. And it's the accumulation of bad decisions. Once you've made one bad decision, another bad decision completely quickly follows, doesn't it?
But it's so human and it's so easily done.
Deeper.
Yeah. And I think, like you said as well, that being a runner and having that naturally, what will come with that naturally sort of adventurous streak in your mind.
I think being a bloke as well.
Yeah.
You just don't think it will happen.
Because running takes you places where, you explore places through running. So inevitably, sometimes you end up in places where you're like, oh, this is not the correct place to be.
Yeah. How long did it take you to recover from your injuries?
From the injuries, probably a couple of months. From the mental scars, I think. In some ways, I cope, but probably still mentally quite a mess with the whole thing. But I managed to get through the next few days in Cape Town and then got home. And I think that's when it really hit me psychologically, that just so many questions were just whizzing through my mind. I wanted to know what I'd done wrong. I wanted to know, why did I survive? Because I shouldn't have done in so many ways. I was just incredibly lucky that this guy came along, had the courage to stop and rescue me. And I wanted to know, where he'd been, had he been following me, had he cleaned his knife, etc. Or stupid questions that you can't possibly get any answer to. Those are questions, even if I had the answers, it wouldn't help. And I think the other thing is you just feel immensely lonely when there's an experience like that, because usually all our experiences unite us, don't they, as a couple together. But this one just put me in a glass jar, and I felt so sort of isolated from everyone. And it all culminated about 4 or 5 days after I got home in a panic attack. My wife Fiona insisted that we leave the house, so she took me to Fareham Precinct in Hampshire, and we went into one of the dullest shops I know, and I just stood there and had a panic attack. I just couldn't breathe. I didn't know if I was going to throw up or cry or faint or just run out screaming. I just rode it, just sort of to get through that. Went to the doctors the next day and said, I said to them, my injuries are infected. That's why I felt like that. And they said, it's not infection, they're healing nicely. Do you think you need some help or some support? And I didn't want that at the time. So I decided I was going to sort myself out, and did so in 2 ways. I don't know why it appeared to me so clearly, but I got back from the doctors, started writing absolutely everything down, every last aspect of what happened. And then when I did that, when I started that, when I was underway with that, I put my running kit on and went out the door. And it was a beautiful spring day. I had 2 bloody great gashes in my left leg. I had 3 broken ribs on that side. I was black and blue all over from the kicking. I could hardly move. It's just hobbling. It was painful. But just being out in the sunshine and running just reconnected. And I think when something really traumatic happens, you lose a sense of yourself. I suddenly had no feeling of who I was before that. I had no, that's a wondering, what on earth did I wander around thinking about or worrying about before? Because it's so overwhelming. But just to get out and run on a beautiful spring morning, back in running kit, it was immense. It was a reconnection. It was the start of the healing journey. Because, I was back doing what I loved. And I think the wonderful thing was, for the first time since it happened, I was actually in the present moment. And I think that's what running gives you.
But I think a lot of people could relate to that, because anybody that's been through anything traumatic or, any sort of breakdown, the rumination, like you describe, the constant going
round
over
and round,
round and round, that cyclic sort of thinking is so hard to get rid of if you're sitting there in your mind. And it's like you say, going outside and just feeling like the air on your skin can bring you back.
Absolutely. And until that point, I'd always run with music. But to stabbing, I never run with music.
Oh, really?
I want to hear my breathing. I want to hear my feet. I want to hear the wind in the trees. I just want to be in that moment.
So is that when you decided to put pen to paper in terms of writing Outrunning Your Demons?
I kept writing and talking about the running and why the running was helping. It became basically a diary of my healing. And very presumptuous as a journalist, I figured there's no point writing anything unless it's going to be published. So I sort of did some investigation and sent it off to a lovely bloke, Matt Lowing, who's the commissioning sport editor at Bloomsbury, fabulous publishers. And he came back and said a lovely thing, but it was slightly brutal, but absolutely lovely. He said, there's no interest in the story of one unknown stabbed runner. Why don't you widen this and write a survey of why running is so healing for so many different people? So I started looking for stories on the internet and started approaching people, and ended up interviewing in the book 34 people who've been to horrid, truly horrid situations where they've had lost loved ones murdered or nearly murdered themselves, who went through addiction or illness, or who went through war, who went through terrorism. And I approached these people and interviewed them and got them to tell me why running was the thing that gave them a sense of equilibrium, that brought them back, gave them a sense of peace, just gave them a new perspective, just enabled them to be themselves again after whatever the horrible thing was that they went through.
Was there a common answer that they gave you? Was there something that sort of appeared in all of their answers?
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, it's a sense of perspective, it's a sense of calmness, it's a sense of peace, it's a sense of being in the moment, I think. It's just coming back to something. Well, not necessarily coming back to something, but just putting broken pieces together in a way that actually works. And I think the story that probably exemplifies that most was actually the first woman I interviewed. It was an extraordinary lady in Queens in New York called Teresa Gimona. And her husband was a New York City firefighter. And as soon as I say that, you're going to guess what happened to him.
9/11.
And would you believe 9/11 was actually his 40th birthday. It was the day he turned 40. And to celebrate that, some months before, he'd got himself a place in the New York City Marathon. And he spent the summer training for it, looking forward to his 40th birthday on what became 9/11. He worked the night before and he had a big day out planned with his whole family, with Teresa. He was called Vinny. And a big day out with him, his wife, and his 4 daughters, all of whom were under 10.
Wow.
But instead, he worked the night before 9/11, came off duty early, went for a run to celebrate. It was his birthday. Went for a run from the station in downtown Manhattan, came back just as things were kicking off. And him being him in his nature, he just got back in his kit and was one of the first firefighters into those doomed buildings and was never seen again.
Yeah.
They never found the body. And Teresa, I mean, how do you cope with something like that? Just absolutely beyond any reckoning, any imagining. She was thinking, what do I do? Now, she knew that his place in the New York City Marathon 6 weeks after 9/11 was still there. So what she did, and this is phenomenal, she got 13 of his mates and colleagues together who stood 2 miles apart on that route and carried his number one to the next.
Oh, wow, that's beautiful.
And his number, 6 weeks after he died, went over the line. And do you not find that just so intensely moving?
That's an incredibly
6
moving
weeks
story.
after
That's
he was
beautiful.
lost.
Yeah.
His number went over. And you're faced with something that's just incomprehensible. What do? You break it up into pieces and you put it back together. And that's what she did. And those were the kind of people I spoke to. Those are the people here. And the lovely thing was she insisted she wasn't a runner at all. But 3 or 4 years later, she did the New York City Marathon.
Did she really?
She did it, didn't enjoy it. But she said it was the closest she'd found to her husband since she lost him. And I think that's the power of running. We all run for a reason, don't we?
Yeah.
It's the really interesting thing.
I find, I mean, I'm a bit of a fidgeter and find it hard to focus and quite easily distracted, I'll be honest with you, Phil. But I do find if I'm out on any length of run, sort of over 40 minutes, you do hit, and I suppose people call it like a flow or that lovely meditative state where you've stopped going, oh, my toes hurting, or this is hurting, or I'm wearing the wrong shorts.
That's what we aim for, isn't it?
Or my bra's tugging at me. And then all of that fades away, and there's just this feeling of like peace and calm that sometimes it doesn't last that long. But it's
you've just got to rejoice in the moment.
That lovely wave of like, I'm totally in this and this is what I'm doing and this is what I'm doing right now in this piece of time. Yeah.
Absolutely. I can totally empathise with that. And I think the other lovely thing about running is it's a sense of control. And I think the trauma was loss of control. So lying there thinking, I'm going, I'm losing consciousness. I could feel myself going. I had no power, utterly out of control. But when you run, what I love are all the silly little decisions. You pull open your running drawer and think, shall I wear the red top today? Or the blue top? And then you open the door and think, shall I turn left? Shall I turn right?
Yeah.
And then you think, shall I accelerate? Shall I do a big loop? Shall I go?
Yeah.
Actually, it's all actually in your control as a runner, isn't it? When you
Shall I stop is usually the thing I'm thinking.
I hope you don't say yes too often to that.
No, I don't. I try and trick my brain because now, I think it was my brother that told me this. He says, if your brain's going, shall I stop, shall I stop, shall I stop? It's the word stop that your brain is focusing on. So instead now I say, shall I keep going, shall I keep going, shall I keep going? So your brain is focusing on going. Yeah, it's it's like, if you tell yourself you're tired, you'll become more tired. If you
Yeah.
if you say to yourself, I'm exhausted, then you start to look like you're exhausted. You start to droop.
That's so true.
So I try and frame it in my head like, keep going, keep going, keep going. Yeah,
But it's also about running the community, isn't it? Like, it's so lovely to chat with fellow runners. You think of running as being a very isolating, lonely experience, but it's not. It's a great camaraderie. It's a great community. You're not alone as a runner, aren't you? That's the power of running.
Esther and I ran the Brighton Half this weekend just gone. And there was a moment when we were running where, again, like you, I used to run with music, and I'm trying not to anymore because I prefer to sort of experience what's going on around me. But there was a lovely moment when we were running up the hill near the marina, and all you could hear was the pad, 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 pad of hundreds, thousands of people's feet. And it was so soothing. I found it such a lovely, soothing sound.
Yeah.
It's so I'm going to use the word tribal in a way.
Yes.
It's just that gentle.
Yeah, I think there is something very tribal. And when you have people play music next to the roadside, so like the drummers and stuff, it did just feel like this is what humans were kind of meant to do.
I can see in the background of you there, Phil, like any decent runner, you've got quite an impressive collection of medals there behind.
That's the thing about running marathons. You don't have to win to get a medal. You just finished.
Everyone's
at the end
finished.
in whatever state. Yes.
I love a medal.
So how many marathons have you done?
43 now.
Okay. That's
about 30 to music, and the last 13 or so no music. Far more enjoyable. And I used to run
marathons.
Pardon?
43 marathons.
Yes, and the tragedy is I think it makes me interesting, but it probably does.
And where can people get your book, Phil? Where is it available?
It's available from Amazon. It's about running the demons, and this was my group therapy, writing this, speaking to some really awesome people.
I think an awful lot of people will be able to relate.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming in
and chatting to us.
Phil, we really appreciate it.
Lovely to speak to runners. Thank you ever so much for your patience.
Thank you for being so open and honest. And I think a lot of people will really
You're always hard on
resonate.
the sleeve after something like this.
Yeah, of course. Of course. Oh, thank you so much. And hopefully we'll cross paths on maybe a run at some point.
Or a comedy interview.
Comedy interview. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you so much. You take care, Phil.
Take care,
Thanks.
Phil.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to The Running Joke. I've been Zoe Lyons.
And I've been Esther Manito.
And we have been lovingly sponsored by ATW Events, who are bringing all sorts of running and triathlon events to you all around the country, all through the year. Lots of different categories, lots of different distances. It's for everybody, so just get involved. And I hope to see you there at one of the events very shortly. Esther, are you going to join me?
I think I'm going to try. I've got a show on that night, but I was thinking, maybe we can do one of the events before I go and do my gig.
Let's do it. I've heard there's snacks.
Oh, well, we know you love a snack.
Yeah, big shout out to ATW Events. See you at one of their events very, very shortly. Thank you so much again for listening. We have been The Running Joke, beautifully produced by Joel Porter at ... Productions. Goodbye.